All right, hey guys, it's Alicia and Josh here with the Herp and Harbins, and we are part of the 15 Minutes of Lane contest this year. And we have Antoine, who is the 2021 15 Minutes of Lane winner. And we're going to ask him some questions, kind of get some insight from him. So, welcome Antoine in.
What's
Hey,
up?
Antoine.
Hey,
How's it
man.
How you
going?
guys doing?
Doing good. Thanks for
Oh
being here
man,
with us.
yeah,
Yeah, we
man.
just
Just no other. I'm hanging out on Veterans Day off of work. I
Perfect.
was supposed to be doing a bunch of.
We just lost him.
yeah,
Yeah, he'll come back in here.
yeah. There he is.
So,
Oh,
oh
we
man.
lost you. You cut out there a little bit.
Yeah, but you're
Okay.
back. You're
You're
back.
back.
You're
All right.
good.
Cool.
You're good.
Oh yeah. No, I was saying. I was supposed to be, doing some house cleaning on my day off, but nah, I'd rather do this instead.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
We get it.
Good
Yeah, we
procrastination.
like that.
Yep. Heck yeah, man.
So fun, like
Oh,
working on your day off, and you're a veteran, so you should be able to do whatever you want today. Is how I
Yeah.
see it. So,
yeah, but last night I was celebrating the Marine Corps' birthday, so that was all a part. That's my partying for the year. I mean,
I
until
get it.
Too much
yeah.
cake, right? That's what.
Too much cake. Too much cake.
Yep. Too much cake. Oh man.
Yeah, we just got back from Alabama, taking care of all of Dad's old collection down there, and we were like in
Okay.
shorts and flip flops.
It
Like,
was
this
hot
is
down
weird.
there.
This is November and it's hot.
It's hot
Oh
outside.
yeah, man. This weather's been doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, we're comfortable with it, but it is weird. So,
Well, if you don't mind, could you tell us how you got started with high desert pythons? Like when you started, what species?
so my love for animals has just been the thing since I can remember. So it's there's always just two things in my life that was always a constant was my love for animals and martial arts. Like I have no memory as a child, but like I wasn't doing wrestling or taekwondo or jujitsu or anything like that. But I also have no memory where I didn't have some kind of pet in the house, whether it was a dog or cat, or lizard I found outside, or
nice.
or or bringing a stray possum in the house and getting yelled
Yeah,
at for that,
yeah, that's
something
fun.
like that. So I mean, that's just always been me. And then my love for reptiles was really just one day by accident when I was like in the second grade. There was like this empty lot in my apartment building in New Jersey, and we used to play like baseball in and like tag football. And I lift up this like piece of plywood, and then I found this little brown snake under there, and I grabbed it up and put it in my fanny pack, and I was like, "Oh, this is my best friend,"
That's awesome.
you know. And then everyone around really didn't know what it was. So they were like, "Oh, that's a garden snake. That's a garter snake, and that's this and that's that." So I was like, "You know what? Let me figure this out on my own because all of you are pretty stupid." So I went to the I went to the library and found out that it was a DK's or northern brown
Yeah,
snake.
yeah,
You know,
yep.
Very cool. Very
so
cool.
and then just learn how to take care of them and that they ate like slugs and earthworms. My mom was like, "Well, do you want to keep it?" And I was like, "Yeah." So she took me to the pet store and bought me this huge like 60-gallon tank with a lid and a light on it and a bunch of stuff. And I was like, "Well, this little snake here needs some friends." So
Oh no.
so every day I'm outside, I got the little fanny pack and, just stuffing
That's
them in
awesome.
there and just raising a whole colony full of DK snakes. And my friends
Perfect.
was like, "Man, can you catch us one?" And I'm like, "Well, you can have one of these for $2."
That's hustling right out of the gate.
Hustling decay snakes.
And
That's
this
a new one.
and then that's how it happened. And just I would get his food. I would find my own earthworms and slugs to feed him with, and
Awesome.
just kind of just staying busy that way. And I was like, "Man, I need to get some more tanks." So my mom was like, "You know what? I'm not getting you all these tanks. Like, you got to figure this out." So I started like volunteering at the local shop, right, and going, "Hey, do you want me to carry your bags to your car?" And then I'll get like $2 for doing that.
Yeah,
And that was
yeah,
my tank money and my video arcade for to play Street Fighter
yeah,
That's
money. So
yeah,
perfect. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great
yeah,
combo.
so and that's how it started. And then fast and then after that I started finding like salamanders and like the eastern salamanders and different things like box turtles. I didn't know they had like box turtles in New Jersey too. So I just had like a little collection in my house of animals, man. And between my
That's cool.
parents and then my school teachers, they all like just fed into my passion for animals. And
Oh,
I had
wow.
like a classroom. My fifth grade teacher, Miss Rice, we had like leopard frogs and hamsters, and she was just like,
Wow.
"Yeah, this is gonna be a thing, just." And I would do like presentations through the school around them, and it always turned to something I wanted to do. So
Very cool.
fast forward to my military career. One of my Marines had a junk on a bunk inspection, which is like they check all your gear, all your room and everything, like your uniforms. So he calls me and goes, "Hey Sergeant, I got a ball python. I was wondering if you can like hold it for me till my inspection is over." I'm like, "What the hell is a ball python? Never heard of a ball python in my life." I heard, I've had like boas before, king snakes, I had Mexican black kings, red tails, things
Yeah.
like that, but a ball python was never on my radar. And mind you, this was like 2003, 2004.
Okay.
So, normal male, I thought this thing was so gorgeous, man. I brought it
Yeah.
to my house and, you know, did a bunch of research on it, make sure I could take care of it the right way. And then one day I went on leave and then came back to my shop and he was gone. He got out the military and didn't tell me he was leaving. He just
Oh
left me with the
no.
snake.
Oh no.
He left me with this snake and I was like, okay. So I kept the snake and then I went online and tried to find, more info about ball pythons and then started finding like, okay, there's albino versions of this. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
There's this and there's that. There's a couple. There's the hypo. There's a caramel albino. It wasn't a whole lot of more of them, but there were enough. Like a couple of years later, where they started like coming out. So 2008, I want to say, I saw the pinstripe pied on Brian Barshek's YouTube channel.
Sweet.
And then I typed in pinstripe pied and saw one for sale at BHB Reptiles, but it didn't have the price. So I called the number and Brian picked up the phone and goes, "Yeah, this male is 12,500." And I was like,
Ooh.
12 what? 5, huh?
Yo,
Whoa.
what are
Yeah.
these numbers?
I was like, why is this thing 12,500? So then he explained to me why it was 12,500, and I didn't know that the ball python industry was this big industry at the time, and that's when he had the real big warehouse, like the
Yeah.
50,000 square foot warehouse or whatever. And then, he was telling me about his channel, and after that, I just said, you know what, I can't afford to buy this thing, but I'm gonna do enough research to figure it out and make my own.
Yeah.
So I got off the phone with Brian that day, went through his whole entire catalog, learned about, like, was taking notes about, okay, a pastel and a pinstripe is a lemon blast, a spider and a pastel. Like I had a chart of like the different morphs and everything.
Nice.
And I got busy, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make me a pinstripe pied, and that's how it started.
Cool. Very cool. That
And
that kind of, you think back to that too, like back then, like how big a deal that was, and you compare it to
yeah,
now, and it's kind of amazing the morph changes that have occurred. So
yeah, and then stuff just started popping out, and so that was a couple years before I was still in North Carolina at the time, and then I sold a lot of the stuff that I didn't have, or like the possible hets that didn't prove out and stuff. And then I moved to California and just building my collection up. And then I had a little break because I invested in some of the wrong projects. Like I swore that desert was going to be like the next big
oh
thing, and
no,
I put
no.
yeah, I had like once I learned that desert females couldn't like reproduce. I had I would say like 80% of my collection were adult female desert
Oh
combos.
gosh, what
Whoa.
a
But
mess.
man,
Ugh.
like dude, like even like I had like a whole row of like inchy like tigers, which was the inchy desert, and that thing, man, you couldn't tell me like that thing. I would put desert over a lot of like lace combos now.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah, I've seen pictures of it. It's
yeah, it was
crazy.
such it was so pretty. They were so pretty now, but imagine now, like with those combos and having the cameras we have now, and imagine what we can do with photographs now. How different they would
Yeah,
look
really.
back then when we were taking pictures with like 8 megapixel
Oh yeah.
cameras
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so and literally like at that time, it was just me trying to make super cool animals that I like to keep for myself. And it wasn't until about 2013 where I started like breeding professionally. You know what I mean? Like trying
Okay.
to move outside of my collection and selling stuff. And it was super hard trying to like develop just a business name for yourself and trying to figure out where you fit in to this world. So it was really like low to kind of like mid-tier stuff until about 2018, where I was like, I'm at the point now where I want to spend some like decent money on some projects.
Mhm.
So I invested in like the Hurricane Clown project,
Yeah.
and once I started, him breeding, I had to think to myself, looking at the prices of that, I was like, man, these are some $6,000 or $7,000 animals. So I asked myself, if I didn't know me, would I send myself $6 grand? And I was like, heck no. So that's when I started really putting myself out there like
Gotcha.
that.
That makes
On
sense. Yeah, definitely.
so I started with really with Instagram, and I made a post.
Oh, we lost him. He'll come back.
So yeah,
Oh,
mouse.
there
Yeah, there you go. You're good. You're good.
So yeah, so yeah, so I produced just a pair of like super black pastel pod set pies, and one looked really really cool. Had a big old crazy ringer on it, and I was like, you know what, that's gonna be my logo. You know what we do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I like it.
So that was my logo. And Miguel saw it from Always Evolving Pythons, and that's before I even knew who he was, and didn't even know he lived down the street from me. You know, he was like, "Hey, do you care if I share this post on my Instagram?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure."
Yeah.
And then like overnight, boom, Instagram just
It just went crazy, didn't it? Yeah.
Instagram just went crazy. Like I had like 400 followers or something like that, and then I woke up to like 15, 1600 followers, and I was like,
Good
holy crap.
gosh.
You
That's a
know,
lot.
yeah. So it was like my battery was dying on my phone because of, like, notifications and stuff. So
it's a good problem to have.
yeah, good problem to have. And then then fast forward to when the lockdown happened because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
That's when I told myself, okay, start a YouTube channel. Like, it's time,
Yeah. That makes
like
sense. That's a good
Instagram is
time.
cool, but they need to see your face and your personality.
Yeah.
And you need to get to the point now where everybody's getting into these ball pythons. So I knew it was going to be a point where everyone had a lot of the same stuff. So I need to figure out a way to stand out from everybody else,
Definitely.
So everybody's spending, people spending their STEMI money on on new racks and new this and new that. So I'm like, I say, when it's time to start showing these animals, it's going to be some stiff competition out there, because I was spending a couple of grand here and there, where I know people spending 40, 50, $60,000 investing in these ball pythons. And I was like, well, if I can't beat them over the head with projects, I'm gonna have to beat them over the head with me,
Yeah. Your personality. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So YouTube channel, I started the YouTube, and I started linking like my Facebook, because I was already maxed out of my Facebook account. So every time I post a video, I would mess people, hey, watch my video, subscribe to the channel. People in person, when I, very rarely went to work, I would like take people's phones and go through their YouTube and subscribe myself,
That's
and
pretty awesome.
yeah.
They just need some help.
They need a little help to figure it out. Yeah.
I'm like, I'll show you an algorithm, and I to beat that. So yeah, I kind of like just farm my subscribers and farm my views, just to kind of see how far I could do it. And I got monetized in 90 days.
Nice.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
fast. Good
So
gosh.
that first year, I did 2 videos a week, like consistently, like Wednesdays and Sundays, like at noon dropped or whatever time it was. Until I got burned out really fast. But
And that was really like 2020 when you were in the midst of that. Okay.
Yep.
And that makes sense during the pandemic. So.
Right. So that was 2020. Then I started doing like a bunch of collabs. Like I did a bunch of videos with Miguel, did a bunch of videos with Shane.
Yeah.
Then I watched the 15 minutes of lame thing happen, and I remember telling Shane, hey man, you go ahead and win this one. I'm gonna go win next year, bro. So we bumped knuckles. So I was like, we bumped knuckles. He was like, man, California takeover. So he did the first one, destroyed it.
Yeah.
And then I got into the second season and smoked that. And
very cool.
And just winning that, man, I didn't realize how popular I got outside of ball pythons. So like when I go to shows, I know that like gecko people and frog people know me, and turtle people, and a lot of people watch Snakes and the Fat Man outside of ball pythons.
They do.
And I didn't realize that, and it just turned to this big phenomenon where like I get flown out to shows now just to like rep people's brands and stuff too.
It's awesome though. I mean, that's cool that it progressed to that anyway, and that it evolved for you along the way. I mean, you've kind of gone over some of the things that we were going to talk about anyway, but when you went through that whole 15 minutes of lame too, this is kind of off script here, but how did you push past some of we did not watch you in 15 minutes of lame. We were hognose people at the time. We were already selling hognose and breeding, but we were starting to learn about Snakes and the Fat Man and things like that. But we didn't see your progression. How did you progress through that? Like, what did you do to kind of just all of a sudden just blow everybody away? What do you think it was? Was it the YouTube? Was it the Instagrams? I mean, how did you?
Well, I know. Well, I say this with all the confidence in the world that my interview was better than everyone else's, first and foremost.
Okay, yeah, hands down. I've heard that. I've heard.
Well, because like I said, I went through the first season, and I had the advantage of going to the first season where everybody was just like, man, well, I just really care about the snakes, and the reason why you should. It was listening it was listening to Ben Stein, like going, Bueller. I was just like, heck no. So I mean, I exaggerated a lot of stuff, like with the compound and the end of the world thing, but it really was people thinking it's going to be the end of the world, So but I just wanted to be real creative about my sales pitch for it. So so I did that. And just my campaigning, I used a lot of people outside of I brought a lot of people into the reptile industry. So first it was like the Marine Corps, like I'm part of a bunch of U.S. Marine groups where we kind of help each other's businesses and promote each other's stuff. So one of those groups has 200,000 people in it. So they all post every day, hey, Devil Dog, we just voted for you again, and show the screenshots and stuff too. And there's a lot of like reptile groups I'm in too, where people were making whole events where like they would get timers on their phone. Oh, it's time to vote for Antoine again. Get up and vote for him. And so it turns like a big community project.
Oh, and that's it makes sense to have your family and
friends. Lean on your community.
Those people that already know you to give you that support. I mean, that makes a huge difference.
Right. So between the Marine Corps, between my family, and I had people from the UFC making videos for me and stuff too. Like,
nice.
Like professional fighters and stuff. Like it's like, hey man, you should go vote. Like, I don't know what this is, but he's my friend, so you better vote for him.
Just go vote for it. Do it. Now, back then, it was still like, was that daily voting like it is now, or was that so they had started daily voting at that point?
It was daily voting, and then and even in my case, there was people who tried to set up like a bot to steal a bunch of votes and like do fake voting. So even with the person doing stealing the bots and trying to steal the election, I still had that guy beat by a couple of hundred every day. So it was just like,
nice. Yeah.
So. But what I wish there was a lot more like mudslinging and like dirty campaigning by some people, because like I wanted to embrace like the going back and forth with them too. And I just I had so much stuff in the tuck too. Like anytime a video would pop out, I'm like screenshot stuff that I can talk about. And I was like, dude, I'm ready. But the one guy who did all the trash talking, he had like 30 followers. And I'm like, it's not even the point.
Why put the effort
this is a waste of time, I mean, he tried, God bless his soul, but
Yeah, that's funny though. And it's kind of funny like how sometimes you get the mudslinging groups and sometimes you don't. And I don't really know what our group is yet. I haven't quite, I mean,
you'll fight dirty if they want to fight, but that won't be our
that's not our style. But I mean, we're not going to lay down and take it either. But it's like I'm not really. Of course, we're in the chats together and stuff, and we just really haven't seen anything that just seemed that threatening at this point. So we'll see how it plays out. But
and the cool thing about this contest is too, like if you do it right, it'll test your mettle as far as like staying busy with social media, doing like YouTube shorts, doing Instagram reels and stuff like that. Like that's what I love the most about it too. Like even if you don't win, your popularity is going to go through the roof because you're going to be everyone's algorithm now, especially if you start posting every single day and doing what you're supposed to. Like you can't help but there's no way you cannot grow.
Yeah.
So
we signed up. We signed up for Leviathan's Patreon because we knew they're marketing gurus. And I remember hearing Steven talking about like shorts and reels, and we're looking at each other
like, what the heck is this? So we're having to learn this. And I know like the first time we got with them like months ago to have kind of some of the training, I was like, I don't even know how to do a video, like vertical versus horizontal. Y'all have to bring this down to like dummy land. And so
we don't want to talk snakes. We want pure
like how do we do this stuff here that we're not very good at?
Trust me. When I started YouTube, I was like, I don't know how to edit a video. How do you do that? I was like, am I gonna go on? I was like, do I go on Fiverr and just give this to some kid to do and just hope for the best? Or I was like, you know what? I need to just sit in front of this TV and YouTube how to use iMovie and Final Cut and how to like transfer logos and do Photoshop
Yeah.
and from my phone, like even though I have a real camera now, I like my phone. I do the recording, the
Okay.
thumbnails, the editing, everything from my phone, and I
So
can post it like.
do you have Apple and you go into Final Cut? Is that what you use?
Well,
Okay.
I use iMovie. I don't
I'll
even do
use
that.
iMovie. Okay.
I do straight thumb scrolling, cutting it like that, and I've tried Final Cut, but I'm just so good with iMovie now. I did
Okay.
actually have an Instagram live. You got to scroll back. I'll tag you in it where I showed
Yeah.
myself editing and posting my YouTube videos
Oh, cool.
on my
That's good.
IG live, like with my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, we've
So
cussed our computers and phones a little bit trying this stuff,
Yeah.
but we're also just trying the different because we don't have Apple, so we're kind of having other avenues right now that we're working with. But
yeah,
I think we're starting to figure it out. It's kind of time to figure it out, honestly, this week. And
it
so,
is.
but I think we've got some good things set up, and it's probably not going to be, Steven level of Leviathan. Obviously, he's like
There won't be any credits at the end of our
credits
movies.
at the end of our
No
stuff,
credit.
but I think we're doing better than we did a month ago and 2 months ago and that kind of
Dude,
stuff.
those reels are so like dope, right? So high quality.
Ooh, yeah,
It's
it's
impressive.
intimidating a little bit when you see those.
I hope we never have like a 15 minutes of lame all stars competition where I gotta
Oh,
go.
wow.
That's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
That's gonna be real tough.
because they really have a whole different with him a whole different level of
and but you guys have the same advantage they do is the fact that there's two of you and there's a team,
Yeah.
so you can kind of bounce ideas off of each other and you don't
Yeah.
have to wait till like it gets posted to go, man, this video sucks.
Yeah, it looks
So as
awful.
long as you two, once you make posts, are honest with each other about how the content comes out, you'll be fine. So like the fact that you have the team dynamic that you do, but as long as you can just keep that apart from, okay, I don't want to piss off my spouse, but this is how it works. If you can kind of keep your personal feelings aside, and that's probably gonna be the hard part. But the constructive criticism is going to be there, and you're going to argue. You're going to bicker back and forth. You're going to be at each other's throats about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're a team, and you know what I mean. So you have to see that goal in front of you, man. And I think you guys will be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I feel like. Well, actually, I woke up at 2:00 this morning thinking of an idea and laid there in bed. Of course, he's breathing, sleepy breathing. So I'm like, I'm not going to wake him up to talk to him about this. Then it was like, I don't know, 5:45, 6:00 this morning. I said, I've got an idea. Are you waking up to understand?
I'm like rubbing my eyes, like, hang on, I got pee.
You do this. If I do this, will you do this? He's like, I can do that. But you could just tell, like, he was like, can you calm down a little bit? And I'm like, no, this is just when my brain's going.
She had this idea for a visual to accentuate what she's want to talk about. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll use this program and click. She goes,
no idea what
you know how to do that? I'm like, yeah, I know I got you.
Like, thank God, because I don't know how to do that.
I was like, you run your mouth, I'll make pictures, we'll be good. But
well, that's cool to hear some insight from you, especially on the competition, because we're wanting to learn as much as we want from as we can about that. But the marketing is obviously our biggest push right now, because that's ultimately what I feel like we're trying to learn from this is how to market ourselves and our products better.
We do better with deadlines. We need a challenge, we need a race, and we need something to push us. So this is the perfect opportunity.
This is a good time to push us a little bit, and we're in a good state at this point. I'm kind of glad we had a little bit of a cushion to kind of adjust everything right now, and then now I'm like, okay, we're doing this, we're winning this thing. And so it's kind of one of those and then because we are deadline people, it's really helping us. So we'll derail from that a second and talk about stuff that I like to talk about more. So I know you've got some like heavy hitter projects and stuff. Can you you look back at Pinstripe Pied, and that was kind of in the beginning. How have you progressed? Do you feel like you've progressed as a normal breeder? Like you buy this stuff, it sounds like you got into desert, which wasn't really your fault, just stuff went wrong. But did you buy stuff and then it just it pet level, and then it kind of grew out? And then how did you decide to hit the switch? Like what influenced you to go to that higher level?
To me, it was, I enjoy making stuff that no one has,
I do. Yeah, I
so,
get that.
in a lot of projects I will see, but what I learned a long time ago, and by a long time ago, I mean 4 or 5 seasons ago, is now when I see a super cool project on Instagram or YouTube, my brain doesn't go, hey, I want that, or I want to make that. I say, hey, what's beyond that?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
my brain is always what's next. You
What's
know,
next?
so when I saw like the Monarch Dark Knight the other day, I was like, okay,
Woo!
what's next? What's
Yeah.
beyond that?
Yeah.
So and that's how I try to do with these projects, man. Like I think DG Monsoon right now is a big one of mine. So I decided I'm not going to try to do anything with Monsoon's pattern. I'm gonna keep it it's a nice pattern just the way it is,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna add DG Ultramel Monarch, things like that to it.
Yeah.
What else? Sunset Puzzle. I've been chasing that thing for a couple seasons now. That's my white whale. Now
Yeah.
Brock's up 2-0 right now on me.
Of course.
The
So
more you
that's
want it, it's like the
more you
harder
want
it is.
it's harder to get.
I know, man. So and it's just so with other projects, a lot of stranger combos. I'm trying to like be real innovative with that. So there's a lot of stranger GHI clown stuff that like we're producing now, and
Okay.
that in the next couple of breedings that people are like, holy crap, man. I'm dealing with some other genes with it too. I'm calling it the Hellbender Project because it looks like the Hellbender salamander.
Nice.
Cool.
I like that.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about what's to come with that, and yeah, and then just trying to add on to the Enhancer G Stripe Clown project. I'm trying to find something else that pops that just breaks out that G stripe pattern and makes it look crazy. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's right at the tip of my tongue. I can almost, it's almost there. So we'll see. So this year I'm adding like pinstripe to it and spot nose together and stuff too. So hopefully that's cool. And I add Krypton to it as well. So I wouldn't mind having some like spot nose pin firefly enhancer G stripe Kryptons.
Yeah, something crazy, just all over the place. You get enough of that in there, it might start getting a monsoon pattern to it. The way
Exactly.
it kind of get crazy. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, and then everything else too is like my favorite incomplete dom is asphalt, like by far. So I feel like that's the super asphalt version of your favorite recessive hasn't been tapped yet. How do we not have a super asphalt monsoon yet? A super asphalt puzzle, super asphalt sunset, super asphalt ultramel. You know what I mean? Like it's so much stuff out there we don't have the super asphalt version of. And to me, it's just such an awesome gene, and I plan on like attacking that head on like in the next 3-4 years. We're going to see it a lot in double and triple recessives as well. So that's pretty much my basis of my genes right now.
I like that. I mean, and it's things that I think a lot of people like too. It's not like you're just limited in such a little small corner over here that like, oh, I don't like any of this stuff, because you've got a variety pack of things, which is kind of how we are. I feel like we've got a lot of stuff too, but very cool. That's cool to see. And we're trying to get asphalt and gravel into that Monarch, and so that's kind of one of our big things right now.
And what I learned too, I think we talked about this, Alicia at Tinley, that I found the cheat code with the asphalt and gravel stuff together. So if you don't have it on both sides, if maybe you have one is asphalt and one gravel, the issue with that is, yellow belly, you get ivories and they're super light, and then you get highways, gravel and yellow belly. As they get older, they start to lighten up too.
They do,
but freeways are the ones that stay they stay darker for the most part. But pavement, asphalt and gravel, the asphalt will overpower the gravel as far as darkness goes.
Yep.
So if you just want to have that on one side, whether you have pavement clowns or just pavement combo, whatever, it'll stay darker. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about it lightening up the way the highway stuff goes too. So I'm doing like a lot of pavement clown stuff this year and next year too. And I'll be happy with that until my other asphalt female stuff gets some size.
Yeah.
But
I remember talking to you about that and trying to refocus some of the breeding plans, because we have a little bit of yellow belly, but Tom has a lot of yellow belly. And so we've actually, unfortunately, there was apparently one of his main males, and I remember talking to him about this before he passed, but it was his DG clown male. He did not know, but it was yellow belly. So we've got all these ivories that, I mean, I've got sheds to send off, because a couple of them I do think are DGs. And, I think a couple are clown. There's just so much lack of anything. But I'm like, we don't need everything to have yellow belly. We're going to lose all kinds of stuff. And then again, like you said, like highways and stuff like that start lightening up with age. And that's the opposite of what we want. We want that to stay rich and dark.
Right.
So we've got his super gravel female that's obviously being paired. And then we have asphalt here at our place that's being paired with Monarch. So we're going to try to keep that direction going there. And then we know yellow belly is going to get sprinkled in every once in a while just because of the level in his collection. He loved yellow belly. He was really big into highway, freeway, all that stuff for a while. And then he kind of sold it. And then he started trying to put it back into Monarch. I'm like, you just sold all your mega stuff. Like, what is happening? I remember when he did it. I remember he had all this stuff all over the table one time. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm kind of ready to go to the next thing. I'm like, okay. He was just like done. That was just the way Tom did.
What are you going to do? Like say, Dad, you're an idiot. Like, you can't do that.
Like, hey, man.
Your child recommends this. That ain't going to work.
But then it was funny because then he started like throwing it back in with the Monarch stuff at that point. Because then he was building Monarch at that point. But it was just, working his projects and working our projects and then our crossing projects that we're having to try to build now at this point. But I do think those are going to be some cool combos to add in. And we're on the hunt for asphalt clown and stuff like that. Cause I want to make sure at this point we're looking at double recessive minimum on everything. And then triple and quads and stuff like that. We don't want to go backwards with any of this stuff and adding as many incomplete dominants that we can and trying to grow it. So
well, I know we've been hammering you with questions. We'll give you a shot. You got any
do you have any questions for us?
You just get one.
No, you can ask us whatever you want.
Just one. I think did I ask you guys about the Monarch Freeway stuff? Did you guys have it hit that yet or no?
No. It's all in like a building project right now. We've got pairings, but we haven't got eggs or anything yet. So that's in the pipeline though.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. That'll give you a basis of what the super asphalt version will look like too. So
yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's great. So because you like Monarch, are you anti Ultramel?
No, not at all. We actually even had talked about one point getting Ultramel and kind of going alongside or maybe even doing a different route with Ultramel. Now, when we first talked to Tom about we don't know what we should do because we were hognose people, and we were just getting into ball pythons. We got into
Ultramel's more budget friendly than Monarch.
It definitely was. And and we'd already invested in some Dreamsicle, Holy Grail stuff. That was kind of where our investment money went. And then I remember standing there talking to Tom, and I was like, we can't make up our mind if we want to get into Monarch or Ultramel. He's like, oh, I just made it up for you. You don't have an option. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, Tom, it's just so expensive to get into Monarch. He's like, we're going to get you the starter kit, and then you're going to go build on it. And so we never bought an Ultramel while he was around because obviously we weren't going to get in trouble, but we've already made some pairs this year that we're going to get in trouble with when we get to heaven. And we're just going to go ahead and just go full blast with it. But we both do like Ultramel too. And so, nothing against it whatsoever.
I remember a couple years ago, we were calling Monarchs Tomarks back in the day.
Yeah, really. Boy, he loved that gene. And we do too. I mean, we love it. I mean,
we're actually considering, keeping like a THR line, so a Tom Harvey Reptiles line of a pure Monarch stuff that was purely his. We're not going to mess with it. We're just going to keep making the stuff that he liked.
Things that we know he had specific things that he was trying to hit. So we're going to make sure we keep those avenues. And there's going to obviously be influence from us, but we want to make sure that we keep that pure to what he was wanting to. So, but it's hard though, because you get this big collection all of a sudden and you're like, what are we doing? What the heck are we doing? And, the hognose came naturally to us because that's what we started with. And the ball pythons, we were still learning. I was still learning how to, ID OD, how the hell am I supposed to ID all this stuff? And so that's been a challenge. And we've had a lot of people help us, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And
well, you came in at a time where, it's a gift and a curse though, because of shed testing now. I feel like because of shed testing has made me lazier with my IDs. Now I'm just I'm just going to do a full panel. I'm going to pay $100 bucks.
Just panel it.
Just here, full panel. And then obviously that's not it's not a infallible system too, because like red stripe, they there's like multiple strains of red stripe that they haven't found. So like so I mean, and there's multiple yellow bellies and ultra males. So there's some stuff that there's still some like wiggle room for error, but for the most part, it works. You know,
it does. And we're
but
still
now,
having to work old school because Monarch. We don't have a Monarch gene yet, so we're still planning. Just like
Monarch's kicking their butts for some reason.
It is. It is. So our plans are still like it was prior to genetic testing. Like we have to still think breeding plan. Like we're not going to get a gene to test this for.
I think the DG A, B, and C scared them. I don't think they want to get out too early.
That thing was ridiculous. Like I purchased a bunch of stuff that was like negative DGA, but the parent was a visual desert ghost. I'm like, that's a hit. So I'll just buy it. They're like, you sure? Yes. So then like that, all that stuff that I purchased when that was happening, because dude, I've been messing with desert ghosts for a long time, and I've never had something that I produced as a 100% het not make desert ghosts. So I knew there was something going on with that situation. So I bought up a lot of stuff that came off of visual desert ghosts, and they end up reproducing desert ghosts. So, and I was telling all of my Patreon members, I was like, look, man, don't
listen to this. Something's weird. I remember when it came out, Tom was talking to us about it too. He's like, this doesn't make sense.
Like it's a recessive. We're going to keep treating it like that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
definitely. Very cool.
Oh, they're cool.
Anything else that you want to know about us? I mean, we've talked a few times, but
we're glad to have you on this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, for real. So the Monarch Kiki is male, correct?
Yeah, no, that's a female. The Monarch Kiki is a female,
and she hasn't bred.
She's 6 years old now. And she's only at 12 millimeters when I ultrasounded her 2 weeks ago.
Holy
Tom has been waiting for this girl to progress. And I mean, I remember we were up there, I guess it was in January and February. Y'all were trying to readjust racks, making sure the heat was sufficient on her. Like even, I remember him moving her specifically, making sure it was warmer.
I took my thermal camera up down there and we were like scanning all the racks. We actually found several levels of racks that were not at the correct temperature.
So has she ever locked or anything or no?
Not that I know of. Hey, he never put any copulations down on her cage. And you know, I think we're gonna put her with somebody and just see if we can get her to progress, because
that's all I was gonna say. You like, if you figure out a male, I would just let him lock, and like a lot of times I do a starter lock that way, and then they'll start building, you know. But I've had females that took me 6 years, 7 years for them to finally go for me, you know, but it was because they weren't the greatest of eaters either. So I didn't want to like, rush them. And how big is she?
She's like 3,500 grams. Now, when I looked at her, when we first kind of like got our minds right with it, I looked at her, I was like, she's fat.
Yeah.
And being a vet and doing dog world for so long, and obesity and stuff can really hinder reproductive cycle in a lot of species. And so she's been on a little bit of a diet. She's just eating a smaller rat. She's just not eating, mediums anymore. And so, and she's still eating great. So it's never been a lack of eating. It's been, I think she's always been a little too thick and probably not hot enough.
Justin has a huge Monarch that he has in the 70 tub too. So I was wondering, I don't know if you talked to him about that one, but I don't remember if she's ever produced or not. I can't remember. I think like last year she did go. I think she's like 15 eggs or something like that. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But that girl is big too, man.
Well, all the Monarchs are like, we got one of the boys out today to just take some pictures of him because I want people to see what these adults look like. And that male is probably right around 2,200 grams. The G-stripe Monarch male is 2,500 grams. Both of our het Monarch females are 3,300 grams. There's something special with the Monarch. And like, so we've got some of these subadults from last year, or yearlings, and they're running right next to some of Tom's yearlings that were hatched at the same time. I know he fed them the same way. He did everything the same, and they're twice as big. Yeah. There's something different with the Monarch. I think there's
I don't have a breeder male over 900 grams.
Some of these, I mean, they're huge boys, and they eat. They eat like even the het males. Like there's some triple het and double het monarch boys that are. I know they've got to be 1,800 to 2,000 grams. They're in 70 series. They can't fit in anything else, and I don't know. It's a special gene, and they're not fat. These snakes are just big, long snakes, and so there may be something genetically to the monarch that makes them bigger. And so we're going to talk to Justin about it because I know he knows that snake, and kind of get also kind of his insight on our breeding plan. Right now, the top male between the two collections is actually one of our males that is a Leo Inchy yellow belly, probable red stripe clown het DG boy. We had somebody offer us a breeder loan, which we may take that up. I'm still kind of deciding on the other genes, but I want to make sure we progress that female into the next level. And we don't, everything that Tom has that has clown and monarch in it are just double het males. And I don't want to go backwards with that.
I was so surprised how nice the DG monarch was.
Very pretty.
I was really shocked at that because
I was too. Yeah.
Because when I saw it in some other like albino type genes, whether it was T positive or T negative, like the DG lavender was a bust. You know, so everything on that side, I can't remember which one's a negative and positive, whatever.
Yeah.
But those lines, like the regular albino lavender, didn't do well with desert ghost at all. So, and then I saw there's an ultra male desert ghost. So I was like, it looks really, really good too. But then I saw that DG monarch, and I was like, it looks like a negative film almost.
Yeah,
like
I know. It's just so crisp. And so, you know, after seeing, it was a video, I'd seen a picture of a DG clown from Europe, DG monarch from Europe. And I was like, okay, that's nice. But then Justin or Canova just did that post, like I guess it was last week.
Has, right?
Yeah, exactly. And when we saw that one, we're like, oh yeah. We're definitely going with one of the DG boys, because there's some clown DG males, but they don't have as much powerful genes as our particular boy. And so I'm like, I want to make sure we put plenty of incomplete dominance on top of it. And so I think he right now is he's at the front of the line. He's 800 grams, and he's probably old enough to go ahead and go. He's from Canova.
Which one is it? What is he again?
He is Inchy Leo, probable red stripe. Justin was pretty confident in that, but again, the testing is all weird. Yellow belly, clown, het DG.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
I think that's got enough in it. I mean, between the two collections, that's probably the stronger male. Because a couple other ones that I looked at Tom's, it's just clown, like, you know, Cypress yellow belly clown or Wookiee yellow belly clown. And then the DG clowns, it's a Leo DG clown or a pastel Inchy DG clown. It's just there's not enough. I feel like to do that. So I think, I don't know, that's the kind of one that we keep kind of going back to. It will be a true blend between Herp and Harbins and Tom Harbin, but we're going to use both collections to do the most powerful thing that we can do. So
I'll be right there getting some of them triple.
Exactly. Triple Eds.
I'm like, oh man, you got too many males. I'll gladly take one off your head.
Did you help us out a little bit? Yeah.
Oh man. I'm like,
well, especially if that girl goes like the rest of the family does. When these monarch girls go, they have 8 to 12. So it's like, if she can just do like everybody else. So
for real, man, that's gonna be crazy. And then if she has like a small clutch but big eggs, I wouldn't mind having 125 gram babies.
Big old baby come out, like eating like as it comes out.
So, like my baby started eating weens. I'm like, what?
Exactly. Breeding age at 18 months.
Monsters, man. You know.
Yeah, they're cool.
Oh man.
Cool, man.
Thank you for all your time. This has been great.
I had a blast, man, and like we can do this 1,000,001 more times, man.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. What's the next show you attending or vending?
Slidell.
Herp show.
Yeah, Herp show in Louisiana. Tom always did those, and so we're going to follow suit.
Okay.
And then
message me the date on that one, and I'll see y'all. Because I haven't done any of the Herb shows yet, and Sean Gray is awesome, and I keep telling him I'm gonna do one of his shows.
He's great.
So I need to do that. And then are you doing the April Charlotte show?
Yes, we'll be there.
Okay,
We'll be at Dallas. We'll be at whatever date finally comes down with Southeast. So
I'm trying to get into March Tinley. I've been like seeing who's behind I Can Kiss for that. So I'm trying to get a VIN for that. So it's a 14-hour drive for me, but I'll get some help and we'll figure it out though. But
that'll be fun.
I want to do Tinley, so that's the only really one I would travel that far for. So
will you do the Southeast one in Atlanta?
Southeast. Oh, Bob show?
Yeah.
Oh, does he have a date for the next one yet, or
he's thinking February? I don't think they've stamped it down, but it seemed pretty consistent that he was trying to keep it about a month ahead of Tinley.
I might not have anything ready for that. I got a local show in January. I'm trying to muster up some stuff for now, which is like 45 minutes from me, and like so if I figure out that show and I sell a couple of things there, then I might just wait till March Tinley hopefully and see what happens.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I didn't go to the first one, but I'll be on there support for the second one. Bob's super dope, man, and so
no doubt. We're stoked that he's doing one that close, and
we couldn't VIN the first one. The timing didn't work out, but
because it was a week before the Charlotte show too, and I was just like, man, it's just a lot too. And then
we did Dallas. We flew him to Chicago for work. I went to Montgomery by myself to take care of the animals and hang out with Sarah because it was their 50th anniversary that weekend. I didn't want her by herself. Got up Sunday morning, drove to Atlanta, got to hang out with everybody all day, and then chased them down and said, sign us up for next time. I don't care what the date is. We're doing this. And so they got a hold of us last week, and so we're signed up. So
cool. Awesome.
Great show. So
heck yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool, man.
Hey, kick butt during this contest, and
we're doing
stay consistent. And if I catch you slacking any weeks during the campaign, I'm gonna message you. Hey, where's the video?
Let us know.
We'll crack the whip.
Heck yeah, for real. All right.
Thank you so much.
Guys. Talk to you soon, man. Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, man.
All right, bye.